Previously on Power Reviews.
With Database, we've got a Power Ranger on our side.
You were sent to infiltrate Alphabet Soup, which crossed over into our world through an interdimensional rift.
They've been partnered with Alphabet Soup. They're not human.
Our master, the one who wears your face.
The landlord.
We got rid of the demons, defeated the Omega agents, and even got Alphabet Soup to destroy the portal gate. The fluctuation in the cross-dimensional continuum will seem like nothing more than a temporal hiccup if Alphabet Soup flies their ship through the rift and disrupts the tachyon cloud. We need your cat.
We're nearing the rift.
What did you just do to this ship?
Meet the directors of Alphabet Soup.
Not you.
He snatched up the little girl.
You lost her. This ship has an exotic matter beam cannon for rift stabilization. I need you to give it a boost.
It's done.
Time to say goodbye, Mr. Ranger.
Hi!
What are you proposing?
An alliance by going into the rift.
And now, Database Rangers Power Review.
Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to the Giant Leap.
Into the rift.
You must be joking.
After all we just went through.
Please correct us if we're wrong, Mr. Ranger, but didn't you board our ship for the express purpose of preventing just that?
That's right.
Then what made you change your mind?
Okay? What's the status of the temporal storm?
Well, it's largely dissipated for now, but
But it will be back, won't it?
almost certainly.
That's exactly my point. We haven't stopped anything. We've only delayed it. But, with the current lull, we may have bought ourselves enough time to get through.
And what do you expect to find there?
The one responsible.
You believe that someone is orchestrating these phenomena?
I've been to the other side. I've seen him myself. The attack on Project Gateway was just the tip of the iceberg. He's amassed an army unlike anything I've ever seen. He can reshape reality, carve out memories. He used Mitch and Mary as his pawns to manipulate all of us.
Sorry about that.
We call him the Landlord.
Landlord?
It's a bit of a nickname.
You really think you can stop him?
No. But I think we can, if we work together. I've survived both my encounters with the Landlord. This ship has survived the rift. Together, we might just have a chance of taking him down.
Sounds like a gamble.
This is insane.
Playing the long odds. A friend of mine was a bit of a gambler. He never let me down. Not once. I'm in.
Me too. I didn't exactly get into this job for the health benefits.
Can we help too?
So what do you say, directors? I'm sure this ship could use a crew. And for your scientists, this could be the opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh my, that does sound awfully exciting.
I'm sure that our Alpha would be more than willing to help man the ship.
You don't speak for all of us.
No, but we do.
Mr. Ranger, we get the impression that nothing we say will dissuade you from this course of action. Therefore, in the interests of keeping our organization and this ship both safe and unified, we have come to a decision.
We agree to your proposal.
All right then. Let's get to work.
Recalibrating dimensional stabilizers.
Rerouting tachyon detection subroutines. Database, are you ready?
Phantom Ranger, in position. How are our pilots?
Our Beta, reporting in.
Course is set.
This is so cool!
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Our people are in position, Mr. Ranger.
Don't make us regret this.
Don't worry, we won't.
Just keep your eyes on the external defense system.
Roger, Roger.
All right, Kay. It's your show.
Commencing countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now! The portal is open. Let's move.
Engines at full.
System stable.
Maintaining trajectory.
I knew all those old flight simulator games were gonna pay off someday.
Here we go.
Well, that wasn't ominous at all. Let's just hope that unlike episode 8 of Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, we're not sowing the seeds of evil.
The opening credits explode into a flash recap of the events of Rangers in Reverse and Alien Rangers of Aquitar.
showing how Rita, Zed, and Master Vile time-reversed the Earth and forced the young powerless Rangers to call upon their extraterrestrial, oddly ninja-esque amphibian counterparts for help, leading us straight into the introduction of our main heroes, the completely unseen teenagers and their child counterparts, starting with former Aussie Pink Ranger Kat, soon-to-be promoted former Black Ranger Adam, soon-to-be retired former Yellow Ranger Aisha, soon-to-be demoted former Red Ranger Rocky, once and future leader and former White Ranger Tommy, and the only one smart enough to restore his true age, former Blue Ranger Billy. Plus, Bulk and Skull are still there, but apparently their young counterparts were no more skilled at contract negotiation than Delphine, Orico, Sestro, Tidius, and Corcus, who are left with nothing more than a word swap in the theme song and a hand-me-down Shogun Megazord as a consolation prize. We all clear?
We successfully navigated the dimensional threshold.
Woohoo!
Let's not celebrate quite yet.
She's right. We still need to reseal the portal behind us.
Already recalibrating the stabilizer cannon.
Bringing the ship around.
Don't forget to keep your eyes open for threats.
The last thing we want is an ambush.
Aye, aye.
Phantom Rangers standing by. Let's make sure nothing else gets through that portal. Somewhere in the past, young Tommy falls through a portal and lands in a Native American encampment, where he apparently raises no eyebrows for appearing literally out of thin air, and immediately begins searching for a Zeo subcrystal, the only force capable of restoring the natural flow of time, completely unaware that extras are not paid to speak.
It's sort of like it's a big rock, really shiny. No, not a hawk, a rock.
Let's hope our search goes a bit better than that. Realizing that he must follow the hawk of his heritage to find the crystal, Tommy commences his quest, just as Kat slides out of her portal and into the Australian outback of home. No backing out now.
Do it!
Phantom Fire Dimensional Beam Field. Ha!
Power down. Door closed?
Door closed.
Phantom Fire Dimensional Beam Seal, huh?
Hey, I'm a Power Ranger. What do you want from me? Speaking of actual Power Rangers, Sestro is helping Billy work on his latest invention, a weather modulator to create purified rainwater to help keep the Equestrians hydrated. Now, one would think that on a planet that has 71% of its surface covered in water, this wouldn't be a huge problem that would lead to weird things like teleporting into the town fountain, building a molecular hydroatmospheric generator, teleporting to their home planet, talking to fish, or walking through a car wash. But for some reason you would be wrong. Because nothing can ever be that easy. What was that?
I saw a ghost.
A ghost?
Ghost. I'll be right there. While chatting with Sestro about the struggle against Rita and Zed, it finally occurs to him to ask if they have similar enemies back home on Aquitar, as if other planets just assign ranger powers willy-nilly without an actual threat for them to face.
He is called Hydrohawk, Emperor of the Dark Waters.
I just hope we don't have anything that bad to contend with. Sir and Madam Directors, have you got eyes on the cryotubes?
Of course.
Why?
I want to make sure none of our old Omega pals have broken loose. Speaking of old foes, Zed and Rita have apparently been eavesdropping again, and decide that they want to call in the seafaring swine themselves to help take out the Rangers once and for all. Alright, where is he?
Who?
T Omega, or H Omega, or whatever Omega is haunting us right now. That's what the ghost was before, right? T Omega attempting to cross over through an imperfect portal?
Well, the ghost was wearing a suit and passed right through the door.
Whatever it wasn't one of our people.
Are you sure?
They're all accounted for.
Then who?
The tachyon detectors are picking up some very unusual activity. We may be clear of the portal, but we still need to clear the tachyon cloud before it has a chance to recoalesce.
You heard her. Let's get moving.
Recalibrating guidance systems.
The hawk guides Tommy up the mountainside, where a mysterious old man suddenly appears behind him, full of strange insights.
Some call me true of heart. I am a friend. And it matters not where you are. Only who you are inside, Tommy.
I don't understand. You know me?
All things are revealed in time.
So you want to clue the rest of us into what's going on down there?
Looks like a false alarm for now.
Not to worry, not to worry.
Freddy?
What?
I thought I heard... nothing. Never mind, it's a long story.
A stranger will come. so the story goes. He shall come in search of the light, symbolized by rock. A crystal, pure in power. Are you the one?
Acknowledging that the magic marker depictions of Zed's staff and the Zeo Ranger 5 helmet are probably about him, Tommy asks where to find the crystal, but only gets a sly smile in response.
What I wouldn't give for some straight answers right now.
Back in Australia, as young Kat makes her way down a dirt road, a dark Jeep catches up to her, being driven by a very familiar face. Her own.
Mommy, I'm going to be you. Are you feeling all right?
I'm gonna go look around and see if I can figure out what's going on.
Fine, just... you. Come back!
Kay! Her apparent once and future self introduces herself as Agatha and claims to know where to find the crystal, offering to take her there.
Where are you going?
While Kat tags along with herself, Rita and Zed are making other travel arrangements by having Finster develop a dimensional transporter to summon Hydrohog. However, this doesn't go unnoticed by Zordon, Alpha, and the remaining 4 Alien Rangers, who take a break from head twitching to get in some token speaking lines.
Zed may be trying to find a means of teleporting us back home. Or teleporting someone from home here.
These readings are all over the place.
What's that?
As if we didn't have enough subplots going on, there's also Rito and Goldar, still lost in the tunnels underneath the command center after 3 episodes of aimless wandering. However, the destruction fallout mechanism seems to finally be ready to become plot relevant, as the dim-witted Revolto accidentally activates the countdown while trying to pass it off.
Oh no!
What?
It's coming!
Right at us.
So at long last, it's time for some action, as Rita and Zed are distracted from their plotting by the successful run of Billy's new modulator, and send down their Tango Warriors to destroy it, leading into the only Ranger battle of the episode, as Sestro morphs to take them on.
It's morphin' time!
This is so not my job description. Unfortunately, the Blue Aquitar Ranger and his depowered human counterpart are unable to save the modulator, and the Tangas are able to get away scot-free.
I can't lose her! Not again!
Back in the Outback, Kat and Agatha pull up next to a lost older woman who turns out to be, surprise, surprise, yet another time-displaced version of herself.
What's going on?
We don't know!
If we help the old woman, it will be too late to find the crystal. The decision is yours.
We need to move now!
Move where?
Tommy is left with a similar dilemma, as True of Heart's cryptic guidance about listening to forces of nature and following his instincts does leave him with one concrete piece of info.
If we do not find the crystal, it will be lost forever.
Change course! Change course!
There is no course. We're flying blind here.
What are you seeing?
Refusing to be dissuaded, Tommy presses onward, and is rewarded with a magical arrow that appears out of nowhere to point the way. I really wish getting directions was always that easy.
You're on your way, young warrior.
As Tommy heads off down his path, Kat decides to deviate from hers to help herself. Her older self. Well, her older self. Anyway, as young Kat and old Kat head off to search for home, Agatha wishes her well, and then promptly vanishes along with her Jeep.
Our scanners don't see anything.
We need to turn the car around!
What?
Car?
I think Mitch and Mary have officially gone bye-bye.
Back home, things really aren't doing well, as Billy and Sestro find the weather modulator is beyond repair, and Rita and Zed are preparing to finally summon Hydrohog, much to the head-twitching concern of the Equations.
Gotta stop it! Gotta stop it!
Meanwhile, young Kat has helped old Kat find her way to an old farmhouse, where she's rewarded for her efforts with a token of the older woman's appreciation, the pink Zeo subcrystal.
When people sacrifice their needs to help others, they are always rewarded. I'm very proud of you.
But as the two cats embrace, another search still continues.
I'm sorry I let you go. Please come back.
Tommy once again must search inside himself for guidance, journeying to the top of a rock formation that looks oddly similar to the home of the command center, and Ninjor's temple, and that place where Captain Kirk fought a bunch of aliens, and finds that True of Heart is already waiting for him at the top.
One of these holds the object of your quest. The others will ensure that you remain here for all eternity.
And with those stakes firmly laid out, the wise man tells the young former ranger to close his eyes and trust his heart, which he does, and randomly starts causing an earthquake and blowing things up.
What is going on?
We have to turn the car around!
Let go!
With only one item still remaining, Tommy unwraps it to uncover the red Zeo subcrystal, and True of Heart commends him on embracing his inner self to find his path, and offers half an arrowhead to him in congratulations.
But where's the other half?
One day you'll find the other side, and your personal quest will be complete.
There you are.
But before True of Heart has a chance to explain the nature of his character arc for the next season, Tommy is teleported away by the power of the crystal, with the mysterious old wise man disappearing soon after.
Anyone want to explain to me what's going on?
Working on it!
Back at the command center, Kat and Tommy arrive just in time to make us question where the other returned Kid Rangers have been all episode, and to watch Billy and Alpha block Zed and Rita's teleportation beam with a deflector beam of their own.
We need to...
Go night-night now.
What on earth was that all about?
I don't know, but I have a feeling it's far from over.
Unfortunately, while the Equitians awkwardly applaud the successful aversion of Hydro Hog's arrival, and Zordon eagerly anticipates Aisha's return with the final piece of the Zeo crystal, Zed and Rita remain steadfast in their determination to bring the Emperor of the Dark Waters to their side.
And that's the end of the episode. So, what did I think of it? Well, Kay?
I need to get outside.
Kay? What are you doing?
I need to get outside.
Kay?
I need to get outside.
Kay?
I need to save her!
Kay, is that...
It's me! I have to save her! I can't leave her behind again!
Kay, how did she get out there?
I don't know, but I have to get her back inside! I need to get her back inside!
Kay, answer me this first.
No! I need to...
Answer me. How can we hear her laughing?
What?
You hear too, don't you? If she's really out there, then how can we hear her?
I don't know.
And how would she have gotten out there without us noticing?
She could have tampered with the locking mechanism.
And has it been tampered with?
No.
She's not there, Kay. Whatever's causing us to see her right now, it isn't real.
But database,
It's okay. Okay? It's going to be okay.
I let her go. Why did I do that? Why did I leave her behind?
Well, to say this episode was a strange one would be an understatement. Not only are there like 5 different subplots going on here, each with their own little oddities, but without the context of the surrounding episodes, there is almost no way of understanding what exactly is going on. Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers is just an overall odd duck, being a transitional miniseries between the end of Mighty Morphin Season 3 and the start of Zeo. And it's made even stranger by pushing their heroes into the background and trading in the more standard standalone episodes for a more heavily serialized format. Of course, this episode pushed the strangeness to a whole new level. Up until this point, much of the plot has been relatively straightforward. True, the mechanics of the time reversal from Rangers in Reverse is never really explained, nor the nature of the time hole that the Rangers originally used to scatter the pieces of the Zeo crystal at the end of Master Violent and Metallic Armor, and the fact the Equitians never seem to be able to find purified water on a planet whose surface is literally 71% water is an incredibly weak kryptonite factor. Okay, so maybe not that straightforward. But at least we weren't looking at magic arrows out of nowhere, and earthquakes and explosions, and wise men with the key to finding out your family heritage, or running into what appears to be 2 time-displaced versions of yourself in the middle of the Australian outback.
Seriously, what was up with all that?
Technically, none of this really makes it a bad episode, as it's clear the characters are just as baffled as the audience by what is happening here, but just choose to go along with it out of the need to complete their quests. And in truth, they are nice little tests of character.
You have connected to your inner self. You have believed in him, trusted him, and he has seen you through.
When people sacrifice their needs to help others, they are always rewarded.
The circumstances may not make sense, but at least the lessons ring true.
Unfortunately, the other three subplots don't quite stand up on their own. As Rita and Zed's teleportation beam fails, the weather modulator goes nowhere, and Rito and Goldar only appear in a single scene. However, when placed into the broader scope of the miniseries as a whole, well, the weather modulator still feels kind of pointless, but the villain plots end up serving the larger story by setting up the circumstances for the grand finale.
I just hope that things go better for us than it did for them.
Overall, due to the heavily serialized nature of the miniseries, this one definitely works better as part of a binge-watched whole. And the sacrifice of Sentai footage in favor of non-battle-related stakes and culturally oriented fables is refreshing. Of course, that still doesn't explain away the more nonsensical aspects of this episode, or make the weaker subplots any more dynamic.
Either way, it's definitely a fascinating demonstration of just how much difference some context can make. Cassie?